Yeah, I would say that my entrepreneurial beginnings are founded from when I was in high school. A friend and I started a summer job for ourselves, basically. I think I realized pretty quickly that I was unemployable. I had a couple of summer jobs and they didn't work out so well. Authority wasn't my thing. Well, you know, I had worked for a painter, and I didn't really like doing things the way he wanted them done. I had my own approach to things. I worked in a restaurant, and I think it lasted 4.5 days before the manager fired me. Mostly, I believe, for insubordination. But I and a friend had identified an opportunity way back in the early 80s, during the time when seal coating driveways in this area was a relatively novel concept. And he had gone to work for one of the big seal coating companies here in town and had gotten his arms around the estimating process. And as soon as he learned how to estimate and win jobs, he quit, and he and I started our own company. And we leveraged that knowledge to go out and undercut them. And we also understood, you know, we'd talked to people who'd used them in the past and found out from them what they liked about the work they did and what their frustrations were. And we tried to provide a better value proposition. We were cleaner, we were more timely, we were more personable. You know, we could actually speak to the owner of the home.
Had you actually heard the term value proposition at that point?
Never, of course not. But
so how did you know that?
Well, I mean, we certainly understood the concept that customer satisfaction mattered. And you know, we had parents of our own who hired people to do things around the house, and could hear the frustrations that they felt around jobs that didn't go so well, and the satisfaction that they did have for jobs that went particularly well, and understood that a lot of it really had to do with the dynamic of the interpersonal relationship between the owner of the home and the service provider. And so for us, it was very clear to us that a big key to our success was not only going to be whether or not we could do the work, which candidly was really a qualifier, right? I mean, if you can't do the work, you have no business being there in the first place. But the differentiator was going to be, how do people feel about us, not only during the sales process, but then how do we get them to refer us to their friends, is to give them an experience that exceeded their expectations, so they'll talk about it. And so that, you know, I recognized that very early in my entrepreneurial life, that was a really important aspect of creating success and building a business.
Did somebody sit down and tell you this, or did you just pick this up?
You know what, nobody really sat us down to teach us that. It was pretty intuitive. You know, again, we sort of had the experience of living in homes where we watched our parents, you know, go through this with service providers, and